Hey, what is up guys? It's Murphy back for another video. Today we are on Magic Arena, play some Historic, and obviously we're going to be playing Colourless Red. So Colourless Red is kind of like a non-Tron version of Tron. So it's like a colourless style deck where you've got things like Karn, a bunch of mana rocks, the Forsaken Monument, which allows all of your things that tap for colourless mana to now tap for an additional colourless mana. And at the top you've got Ugin. And then on the other side of things, on the red side, you've got a bunch of board wipes, and you've got things like Shattering Skull Smashing, which is a land as well as a removal spell if it needs to be, and you've got Chandra at the top. So the idea of this deck pretty much is just play a mana rock, raft the board, play a Planeswalker, and hope to just win off that. You've got a bunch of different Planeswalker options to win the game with. You've first got Karn. So Karn allows you to turn your mana rocks into creatures and just smack your opponent with creatures, predominantly being with Forsaken Monument, making them +2/+2. You now have a monument which can attack for 7, for example. As well as that, you've got in the sideboard a bunch of different silver bullets. So if you're playing against things like Jund, which is going to be using their graveyard a lot, just get a Grafdigger's Cage, shut off that entire side of their deck. Also, if you're playing against elves, you can get this to turn off Coco. If you're playing against goblins, it turns off their Goblin Lord, Garden Muxus, I think. And then I didn't really know what else to do with the sideboard because I generally just play best of 1 games when I'm laddering just to grind as quickly as possible. And from that, I've just stuck in a bunch of cards that I could think might come in handy at some point. So you've got Stonecoil Serpent, which is fantastic against the 5-color Niv Mizzet deck. All of their removal is 2 colors. So Stonecoil is just a really good answer to that deck. Metalwork Colossus is just a big fatty that you can get from your board. The amount of times that you can just, you have a stalemate, you top deck Karn, and then you just slam, a 10/10 in play, and they have like a couple of turns to answer it, or they're just dead. Other than that, you've got some generic removal with the Meteor Golem, God Fairy Statue if you're playing against anything that you want that. The third Forsaken Monument, you do often want to draw 1. I don't play 4 main deck because it's really bad in multiples being legendary, but having an additional 1 on the board is really good. Other than that, we've just got, to be honest, the rest is just random shit. The other 1 card that is really good is Cosmos Elixir, allowing you to draw a card every turn against the mid-range decks, or if you're against an aggro deck and you slowly start to level things out, you can just get this and start gaining some life back to try and get out of burn range. I have found that to win me quite a few games, mainly actually against the mid-range decks. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything in the board. The reason I think this deck is so good at the minute is just because it answers so many of the decks in the meta so well. Against goblins, you can just absolutely crush them if you just, you board wipe on turn 3. And then if you're able to get in a Grafdigger's Cage, all of a sudden their best win condition is now just shut off. So they now have to play almost like a fair game of goblins, which just doesn't really work when you have so many board wipes. So I think it's a really good answer to that. It's fantastic against the Soul Sisters deck going around. A lot of the deck is 4 toughness creatures. And then when they start going above 27 life, they start making huge creatures. And you can just entirely sweep their board with Ugin, and it's almost impossible for them to rebuild a lot of the time. So I've really enjoyed playing this deck. So let's get into some games. This hand is pretty slow, but it should be fine. We don't have a board wipe, but we do have the smashing. We've got a lot of stuff going on here. This will do. Without knowing what our opponent's on, we're just going to lead off with a Radiant Fountain. There are so many different colorless lands you can play in this format to combo with the artifact that makes your colorless sources tap for 2. But Radiant Fountain is surprisingly one of the better ones. We're against a Ranyanap Ruins deck, which is either going to be the mirror match or it's going to be a genuine mono red aggro deck. I think it's probably going to be the mirror match, but we will see. And it's pretty funny that in the mirror match, Ugin is pretty bad because it doesn't do anything. You can't minus Ugin and exile their Karn. Things like that. Oh, it is actually an aggro deck. Okay. I prefer that. I don't really like playing against the mirror just because Ugin is so bad. And we're against... What are we looking at here? So we can scry now if we want. Or do we want to get these in play to use that? I don't think so. Yeah, we're going to use the Archive this turn. Next turn we'll use the Shatter Skull Smashing, and then the turn after we'll hopefully Ugin. Pretty nice setup. Just going to play a 4/3 Bone Crusher. Oh, that was a hell of a draw. So none of these are elementals. Just play the Chandra, reset the board. And our opponent's very... It wasn't that much of a slow start. Burning Tree into Burning Tree is fine, but like you generally need something else as well. This opening hand is really slow, so we're going to ditch this. We are on the play, which is makes it a little bit better, but yeah, like we're not doing anything for turn 1, 2, 3 by the look of it. We don't even have any scry lands. Let's just go ahead and mulligan that. This opening is much better. We can put one of the cards back. We probably won't need to. And we'll lead off with, I think, the Ruins here, because in case we want to... Yeah, we're going to lead off with the Ruins here, see what we want to scry next turn, depending on what our opponent is doing. Plays a Godless Shrine tapped. Sure. I don't think we want to use the scry yet, because I'm still not sure what we're against. We'll play the Aether Hub, and we'll play the Cold Steel Heart. Obviously pick red, and pass the turn back. So next turn we can Sweltering Suns or Khan. Probably going to be a Khan at this point. Oh, okay, so they're the Soul Sisters deck. I think it's just going to be Khan here. I can't imagine any reason why we wouldn't. Play the Scryland, the Sweltering Suns on top. We've already got 2. I don't think we need a third. We're going to Khan and minus here. And what do we want here? Probably just Forsaken Monument. Like when in doubt, it's just a good card. The other option is we could just get a God Pharaoh statue and just try to like really slow the opponent down. Other than that, we also have the option for the Colossus. We are very far away from playing that. Pretty tempted by the statue. Very close between these two. You know, we're going to go with the Monument. And then next turn we could potentially go for the statue. Okay, so this is whenever you gain life, your opponent loses that much life. Is fine. Yeah, so we're just going to play, I think, an Anger of the Gods here, and then go get the Pharaoh statue. Or we could try and go for the Monument this turn. I think I'm fine just using an Anger of the Gods, though. The thing with their deck is you just don't want them to get ahead at all. Like as soon as they start playing like the 2/4s that get out of Anger of the Gods range and out of Sweltering Suns range, you don't want them to have other creatures on board at the same time. So this one's fine. Fortunately, this one's just whenever an angel comes into play, put a counter on it. So here we'll go ahead, play the Radiant Fountain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana available. We can play the Monument into the Mind Stone here if we want. Alternatively, we could just go get the Pharaoh statue and play that. I kind of like the idea of getting the statue. Because then they're only playing 1 card a turn pretty much for the rest of, well, for a while. Let's go ahead and do that. So it makes your opponent's spells cost 2 more. So, you know, all of a sudden these are now 4 mana. Sorry, I thought these were the 3-drop. They're going to play this. Is fine. We'll play the Mountain here into the Monument. And we are going to use anything that taps for colored first. And that and that. Into Mindstone. We could cycle this, but I think we're just going to pass the turn and see what happens. So they'd have to get up to what? How much life do they need for this? 25. Okay, sure. So this is going to become bigger again. But now our Sweltering Suns can kill both of these. Sounds pretty good. We're just going to go ahead and sack the Mind Stone. We don't really have any use for that now. We've got so much mana. Another Khan. And Hedron Archive. Yeah, I think I'm happy just playing the Sweltering Suns and getting rid of these two and just, again, prolonging the game. We're not in any hurry. Really, this is the only thing that's going to get out of hand, but Ugin can just instantly kill that. And Chandra can as well. So let's go those two into Archive. Oh, we can also get Meteor Golem with Khan, and Meteor Golem can just kill this. Or we could also get Stonecoil Serpent and just make it huge, and then that'll block this quite nicely. Yeah, now I'm just tempted to go ahead and get a Stonecoil Serpent. Or do we just... Actually, we could just tick up on Forsaken Monument and hit... Oh, sorry, on the statue. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, that seems way better, because now our opponent has just got... Have actually got to answer the con if they don't want to die. I didn't even consider ticking up on there until the last second. But being an 8A is just huge. Okay, so they can now exile this. Oh, they're going to go for the Khan. And we probably just want to kill both of those here. Don't have a creature land, unfortunately. That would have been quite nice. Yeah, so we'd have to do it. Well, we might as well just... We'll have to do it for 6, won't we? So now we get like, what, a 4/4 or something? Yeah, not that it really matters. We'll just pass the turn here. And they're going to play a 3/3, which is fine. They're not... It's very unlikely they're going to be able to get above like the 20 health again now. And we're going to crack this, just see if we can find anything good. Nothing yet, and a Sweltering Suns. We could cycle it, or we could just kill this and hit them for 4. I think we're just happy hitting them for 4, because then we could just kill them next turn. Guess we might as well attack first. Is there any chance they're blocking? Not really. We'll give them the choice. Let's just go ahead, raft the board. And unfortunately, I don't think... Oh no, we have still got the energy. Yeah, so we can just go end of turn, Ranyanap Ruins, untap, and then do it again. These are 2 damage each, and the Godfarrow statue. And that should just be game here. Doesn't matter which one we sack, obviously. And they just concede. Sweet. So this hand looks fine. We've got our lands, Mana Rock, and a board wipe. We'll go ahead and keep this. We're against Juicy the Zombie. That's a great name. See what our opponent is going to start off with. Hopefully we can get a good idea to use the dry land first. Alternatively, we could just play the land tapped and not take the 3 damage. Our opponent. Oh, are we first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Oh, okay. Our opponent was just mulliganing. In that case, I'm just gonna go ahead and play this tapped and pass the turn. Oh, what's our opponent playing? Elves. Elves is a pretty good game. Do we want Forsaken Monument? So next time we're going to Sweltering Suns. I would expect at least. Then the turn up. So 1, 2, 3 this turn. Then next time we're going to have 4 mana to play the Archive or the Sweltering Suns. I don't think we're going to need the Monument. It would ramp us into Ugin, but I think we're going to have enough to do anyway. Really, we just want to draw as many Anger of the Gods and Sweltering Suns as possible. To be fair, even Chandra is good enough. Like, deals 3 damage to all creatures. And I don't really see them being able to get above 3 toughness on multiple elves unless they get a bunch of elf lords into play. So it normally is just a complete board wipe. We could probably leave them to have 1 extra turn here. So we can take a turn off and just play the Archive here. So next time we play that, and then the turn after we play Ugin. 2 turns of board wipes hopefully will just be too much for them to recover. The Visionary is fine. Yeah, they've got one of their like more value-orientated hands, which is probably just not going to be good enough here. We will play the Mind Stone, and I think we'll probably crack it as well. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So yeah, we don't actually need this Mind Stone. They're going to play Arc Druid. That's fine. If they don't play another creature, we get to Ugin and tick up, and I don't think they can recover from that at all. Okay, sweet. There's no way we can play both of these. We'd need 5 mana for that, so we'd need 9 mana in total. We're still 1 short, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, would be 1 land short. We'll go ahead, play the Ugin, tick up on the Archmage, and I think they will probably just concede at that point. No, they're going to play it out. Fair enough. They could have things like Coco. Collected Company at end of turn is a good way they can answer Ugin. So they'd have to get like really good hits off Collected Company to win. Yeah, they've just conceded. This hand is tricky, so we've got 3 lands, 3 mana rocks, and an Ugin. For against like mono red or something like that, we could die so quick. But we've got a Scry land. I think this is fine to keep. Pretty close. We'll go ahead, lead off with a mountain. Because again, if we don't know where against, I don't really want to be scrying until we have at least some sort of information. What do you know? It's a red deck. Okay. Chandra's pretty good draw. Let's see what we can find off the top. No, we don't really need another land just yet. Go ahead and play the Idol here. Next time we have access to 4 mana, we could just play both Mind Stones. See what we draw though, see what our opponent is up to. Oh, what on earth is this? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, deal 1 damage to each opponent. Sure, okay. They're going to be some sort of like legitimate burn deck. And we'll just pass the turn. We've got 6 mana in play at the moment. So we could crack a Mind Stone if we want, because then next time we can still play a land and hit play Chandra on curve. But I'd like to get this Ugin into play sooner, so I think it's not worth doing. Holy crap, they're just going to deal 4 to the face. Wow, yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to keep the Mind Stone in. Oh, do we want to? No. We'll play the land, and we will just Chandra here. Are either of these elementals? No, just worth checking. We'll reset the board, and hopefully they won't have too much burn left in their hand. I'm expecting they will do, but we're just gonna have to try and draw. Oh, they're going for our Planeswalker. Okay, they've got more creatures to go. Sure. Here we can play Karn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 3 mana left over to get something into play. Actually, I'm kind of tempted to play Karn and then minus, go get something to get us life gain, and then just kill the Soulscar Mage here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. There are quite a few cards we can get. The one that stands out is, if I show you, Cosmos Elixir. So at the beginning of your end step, draw a card if your life is more than 20. If not, gain 2 life. So we're basically just going to draw. We're basically just going to gain 2 life every time for the rest of the game. Alternatively, we could. Where is it? We could get the Metalwork Colossus and try and end the game quick. We've got 2, 4, 6 mana of artifacts in play. So that would be a 5 mana 10/10, but we are still within burn range. So that I'm kind of put off by. Anything else? I guess the Pharaoh's statue, 3, 4, 5, 6. Going to slow them down a lot, but I think we're better off just with the elixir, to be honest. We're 1 mana off playing the Ugin as well. We're going to play Robber of the Rich. That's fine. We could also play the Cosmos and then use the Karn just to tick up on a mana rock. 3, 4. We could play that, and then tick up on Karn. But we're only on 5. I guess we'd go up to 7, wouldn't we? So play the Archive, play the Elixir, up to 7, and then tick up on Karn on here just to block. Or we can minus and go get some more life gain. I think it's fine to do this. We could tick up on here, but I just don't want to block with it anyway. I don't want to risk losing it. And now, if they don't kill the Karn, we're just going to minus, go get like the 1 mana gain 3 life artifact. And that, just hope that that's enough short term life gain. We'll just snap that block off. We can still still Ugin next turn if we want to. Thermo Alchemist, sure. So if I show you the artifacts, I think it's what we're going to do regardless. There is an artifact somewhere here which says gain 3 life. Here we go. Navigator's Compass. When into battlefield, gain 3, and then taps to make lands. Tap for whatever color you like, a mountain or whatever you want. The rest doesn't really matter. Oh, actually, the other option is 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can just slam a Metalwork Colossus and an Ugin. That's probably better, right? So play Ugin. Pick up on here. Play a 10/10 and see if they can answer it or kill us. And it doesn't look like they can. Sweet. So this is our opening hand for game 1. Our opponent hasn't got a commander, a companion or anything like that. So let's see. We've got 2 scrying lands, which is really, really good. It helps us draw into whatever we need to, depending on the matchup. We've got our mana rock, we just don't have a board wipe, but I think this is still good enough. Generally, you would like one board wipe in your opening hand. They lead off with Castle Ardenvale, which suggests either like a mono-white weenie style deck or potentially even a control deck. So we're going to just head off with Ranyanap Ruins, I think, just because we don't know what we're looking to scry with these. I don't want to see something like an Anger of the Gods on top and not know whether to keep or not. So now they've played a blue. This does now suggest to me that they're probably playing a control deck, or maybe some sort of spirits deck, but I'd expect some sort of control deck. So we're going to go ahead, play the mountain, and go into the idol, and pass the turn back. The idol and the heart are the two that you always play first, just because they come in tapped. Mindstone you can sometimes play in a turn with something else using the mana that it produces. So our opponent has just played again another Zorius land, further suggesting to me that they are just playing a control deck. So we're going to go ahead and scry now. And what are we going to find on the top? Okay, a archive. I don't think we want to keep this. So this time we're going to go Mindstone into the heart, which is going to put us up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. So next turn we can charge her. At that point, we're going to have Forsaken Monument to play the turn after if we want to. So really, this isn't going to achieve much. The drawing the 2 is pretty good, but I think we're just going to look for more Chandras. I found against the blue-white style decks, because they're so slow, you do just have the ability to just play a Chandra, and if you can draw another one quickly, as soon as they answer it, just play another one. And if you just keep ticking up, you get 3 emblems on them. It's pretty hard for them to kill you quite quickly. And you've got so many board wipes and removal spells that you can just sit there and take whatever hitting they have at you, and eventually you'll just outlast them from all the emblems. So we'll go ahead and play the Crawling Barons. This card is absolutely fantastic in this matchup. We'll just go ahead and play the Chandra. Being uncounterable is just so huge. I'm going to give them an emblem. If they end of turn Brazen Borrowed or something, maybe that would have been a little bit annoying, but they haven't even got that, so it's looking pretty good here. So they can Teferi, possibly minus on the Chandra here. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just draw it again in a couple of turns. Well, in fact, we can draw it next turn from scrying something to the bottom here. That sounds pretty good, I think. Oh, it's Khan. Is there anything in our board that we want? I'm not sure there is. No, I think we're just going to put that to the bottom. We just want to draw our Chandras as quickly as possible. So now we've got access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. We could tap 5 of it to play this, which would then put the 3 remaining up to 6. Unfortunately, that's not enough to activate the Barons, but it would be enough to activate the Idol, and the Idol can then kill the Teferi. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That's 5. Obviously using all the ones that don't tap for Colourless first. Oh, no, my mistake. We actually do have enough to activate the Barons. And our opponent just concedes. Okay. So those were the games. I hope you enjoyed them. The deck seems pretty sweet. You pretty much just board wipe your opponent until you get Ugin or a Chandra in play and hope that wins the game. And occasionally you get to kill someone with a Metalwork Colossus. Well, I say kill them, they normally just concede before you ever get to attack with it. But anyway, that is the deck. If you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. If you liked the video, then please like the video. And if you have any decks you would like to see me play in the future, please feel free to comment them in the description. I'm always happy to hear suggestions. And thanks for watching.